The Adventures of Annette, Kyle and Gorgon. Chapter 1. Once upon a time in Paris in the 1890s, there was a curious 11-year-old girl named Annette, who loved to explore the city with her trusty Cavalier King Charles Spaniel dog, Kyle. Annette's love for adventure often led her to unexpected places, and she was always up for a new challenge. One day, while Annette and Kyle were walking in the city's Jardin des Plantes, they met a friendly panda bear named Gorgon. Gorgon was lost and couldn't find his way back home to the Chinese bamboo forest. Annette and Kyle quickly became friends with Gorgon and decided to help him get back to his homeland. As they were brainstorming ideas on how to help Gorgon, they stumbled upon a magnificent hot air balloon that was being prepared for a flight. Annette had never been in a hot air balloon before, but she was excited about the idea of traveling to new places and experiencing new things. Kyle, being a brave and adventurous dog, was also up for the challenge. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon climbed into the hot air balloon, and the journey began. The balloon floated above the beautiful city of Paris, and Annette and her friends were amazed by the breathtaking view. They could see the Eiffel Tower, the River Seine, and all the famous landmarks of the city. As they floated above Paris, they encountered some unexpected obstacles, such as a sudden gust of wind that threatened to blow them off course. Annette and her friends worked together, using their wits and quick thinking to overcome these challenges and keep the balloon on course. After a long and exciting journey, they finally arrived in the Chinese bamboo forest, where Gorgon was ecstatic to be reunited with his family. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon said their goodbyes, and Annette promised to keep in touch with her new friend. As they flew back to Paris, Annette and Kyle realized that even though they had faced many challenges on their adventure, they had also experienced some of the most incredible moments of their lives. From that day on, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon remained the best of friends, and they continued to have many more adventures together in the years to come. Chapter 2. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon had been reunited for a few months, but they were already eager for their next adventure. One day, as they were strolling through Paris, they stumbled upon a majestic steam train at the Gare de l'Est. The train was ready to depart for the south of France, and without a second thought, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon decided to board it. The train was magnificent, with plush seats, ornate decor, and a grand dining car. The trio settled into their seats, excited for the journey ahead. As the train chugged along, Annette and her friends marveled at the breathtaking landscapes that passed by. They saw fields of sunflowers, vineyards, and picturesque villages. But their peaceful journey was interrupted when they discovered that there was a thief on board. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon sprang into action, determined to catch the culprit. They searched high and low, but the thief was nowhere to be found. Determined to catch the thief, Annette devised a plan. She dressed up Kyle as a wealthy traveler and placed him in the dining car, where the thief was known to strike. Annette and Gorgon pretended to be sleeping in their compartment, keeping a watchful eye on the thief. Sure enough, the thief struck again, attempting to steal from the wealthy-looking Kyle. But Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon were ready for him. They pounced on the thief, tackling him to the ground and recovering the stolen goods. The rest of the journey was peaceful, and Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon basked in their victory. They arrived in the south of France, where they enjoyed the sunshine and stunning coastline. They even discovered a hidden cove, which they named Gorgon's Cove in honor of their friend. As their journey came to an end, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon felt a sense of pride in what they had accomplished. They had not only enjoyed a wonderful adventure but had also helped to bring a criminal to justice. They knew that no matter where their travels took them, they could always count on each other. Chapter 3. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon were always up for an adventure, and this time, they set their sights on a mysterious island off the coast of Malta. But getting there would not be easy, and they decided to sail there in a small sailboat from the south of France. As they set off, Annette and her friends were excited but also a little nervous. The open sea was an entirely new experience for them, and they knew they had to be careful. They sailed past picturesque fishing villages, hidden coves, and rocky cliffs, always keeping an eye on the horizon. The journey was long and treacherous, and the weather was unpredictable. At times, the wind was so strong that they had to pull the sails down to avoid capsizing. Other times, they faced sudden storms that seemed to come out of nowhere. Despite the challenges, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon persevered, and their determination paid off. They finally arrived at the mysterious island off the coast of Malta, and it was even more spectacular than they could have imagined. As they explored the island, they discovered that it was inhabited by a group of friendly locals who welcomed them with open arms. The island was rich in history and culture, and they spent their days learning about the island's legends, discovering ancient ruins, and swimming in the crystal-clear waters. But their peaceful stay on the island was interrupted when they discovered that a group of smugglers had taken up residence on the island, using it as a base for their illegal activities. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon knew they had to take action to stop them. With their quick thinking and bravery, they devised a plan to capture the smugglers and bring them to justice. They worked together, using their wits and strength to overcome the smugglers and their hidden stash of stolen goods. With the smugglers defeated, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon were hailed as heroes by the island's inhabitants. They were celebrated with a grand feast, and Annette was even given a special gift, a hand-carved wooden statue of a sailing boat, which she treasured for the rest of her life. As they sailed back to the south of France, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon knew that they had once again experienced an incredible adventure that they would never forget. They had learned that sometimes, the greatest treasures are found in the most unexpected places, and that with determination and courage, they could overcome any challenge that came their way. Chapter 4. After their thrilling adventure on the mysterious island off the coast of Malta, Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon were ready for a more leisurely journey. They decided to take canal boats from the south of France back to Paris, enjoying the scenic route and charming villages along the way. As they set off on their journey, Annette and her friends were delighted by the tranquil beauty of the canals. They saw quaint little villages, green hills, and even shadows along the way. They stopped at each village, meeting new people, and trying local food and drinks. Their journey was not without its challenges, though. At times, the canal became too narrow, and they had to maneuver their boats with great care to avoid collisions. And they had to work together to navigate through locks and keep the boats steady during strong winds. But they persevered and eventually arrived back in Paris. They were happy to be home but also sad that their incredible journey had come to an end. One day, as they were strolling through the city, they came across a poster advertising a hot air balloon race across France. The prize was a trip to an exotic location, and Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon knew that they had to participate. With their spirits lifted, they quickly registered for the race, determined to have one last adventure before their journey ended. They boarded their balloon and soared above the beautiful French countryside, racing against other hot air balloons. It was a thrilling experience, and Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon worked together to keep the balloon on course and to navigate through changing winds. They overcame challenges and worked as a team, and in the end, they won the race. Their victory was celebrated with a grand party, and they were honored with a trophy and a trip to a beautiful location. Annette, Kyle, and Gorgon knew that they had achieved something incredible, and they felt grateful for all the memories they had created together. As they returned home, they knew that they would always cherish their adventures and the incredible bonds they had formed. They had learned that no matter where their travels took them, they could always count on each other, and that the greatest treasures in life were the memories they created together. The end. Do you want to hear more stories? Then make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss our daily stories. And keep listening for more stories, which will play shortly.